Welcome back to Crypto Spaces. Overall market right now, not in a great spot. Bitcoin under $83,000. More analysts are saying we could see a drop for Bitcoin to the 60,000 to 50,000 level. A lot of people are expecting a relief rally, and potentially after the relief rally, we see if the market goes into another bullish phase for, a new all-time high for Bitcoin of 120 to 130K. That wasn't even the case, right? We couldn't even get to 103K because of just how bearish the overall market is. And, it's tough. It's really tough. But again, if you're in the market now, you're paying attention. Even if you're sidelined and you're paying attention, right? You don't even have to have exposure to the market. Even if you're sidelined and paying attention, it's going to create great opportunities for the future in the longer time frame, in a longer time horizon, right? But as we can see from all the stats, there's no retail interest. Literally zero retail is in the space right now, as in like people that are newer, right? New people to the space, obsolete, right? The only people that are still here in the market right now are people from 2021, 2022, and that's it, right? People that have made it this cycle, may hit their financial goals, and they're waiting for lower prices so they could increase their wealth. And people that didn't make it this cycle, who are still trying and didn't give up, right? I'm halfway between both of those. I'm halfway. So I'm still here. I'm still updating you guys. I'm still making these updates here for Monad and these other projects that I talk about on the channel, right? So Monad right now, if you take a look at Monad, obviously it's going to be affected by the overall macro of the market. It's under 2 cents right now. Again, great time to accumulate Monad here. As I stated, guys, 100,000 Monad is a great bet to make. You don't have to overinvest into any project, guys. 100,000 Monad right now is $1,963 right now. That's 100,000 Monad. My price targets remain the same for Monad. I'm speaking in the long term, obviously. So 20 cents to 30 cents per Monad, if not $1, is definitely in the cards for me personally. Anywhere in that range, right? If you're on the more conservative side, 20 cents from here is a 10x move, right? And a lot of people would love a 10x move in this space. Some people can't even get a 2x, right? This entire cycle went by and some people couldn't even get a 2x on their investments, right? So 10x move is fantastic from here, which I think is very possible. But I don't think Monad stops there. I think it gets to maybe like 18 to 20 cents, 15 cents, somewhere in that range. It consolidates, has a pullback, has a consolidation, and then it continues up maybe another month, 2 months later, to 30 to 40 cents, right? Or 50 cents, right? That's what I would think would happen for the price action for Monad, in my honest opinion, guys. So right now, again, like I said, anywhere from 50,000 to 100,000 Monad is the best bet to make, right? That way you don't overinvest. Because if we drop to, 60 to 50K Bitcoin, Monad could drop to under 1 cent, right? That is very possible. So you have to manage your risk. You have to be strategic, guys, in my opinion. That's the best thing to be in this market, right? Because it's very difficult to trade this market. It's the most difficult asset class. In my opinion, it's the most difficult asset class ever, right? So you have to be strategic. If Bitcoin does drop to $60,000 to $50,000, you expect Monad to drop as well. That's just gonna happen, right? You might think it's not going to happen, but it will happen as well, right? Because Bitcoin is, the king of the market. Whatever Bitcoin does, altcoins follow. So if Bitcoin is bearish and breaking down, expect altcoins to break down. There's going to be some that hold up much stronger than the rest of the other altcoins. Some are just going to completely tank and go to zero. Some of them are going to hold up a lot better, right? But even if Monad is one of those ones that are strong, it will still have, even if Monad is one of those ones that are strong, it will still have, a drop, right? How much of a drop, I can't predict that. But you could potentially see, in my opinion, a 1 cent Monad, right? That is very possible for a $60,000 to $50,000 Bitcoin, right? If not less, maybe like 0, 0, 2 zeros and an 8, right? Under 1 cent, 008 for Monad. So if you take a look here, from Yo-Yo Mon may set a new all-time low. Be cautious. Mon is a long-term DCA play, right? Mon is a long-term DCA play, right? So that's the best thing. That's the best thing you could say about the project. You have to look at it from a long-term perspective, because the market right now is in a tough spot, right? And again, if Bitcoin happens to drop all the way down to 50 to 60K, man, expect Monad and a lot of other projects are gonna drop very hard. But which projects are gonna re-emerge when Bitcoin, starts to be bullish again? I would think Monad is one of those. It's already shown its strength multiple times, right? From Wara, Mon is up despite terrible market conditions. This is what happens when Binance scammers can't dump on you. But yeah, I pointed this out as well in previous videos where Monad was showing a lot of strength against the overall market, and it was showing a lot of strength against other altcoins. Hyperliquid was also showing a lot of strength, right? Hyperliquid was showing strength, but Hyperliquid and Monad were one of the only few altcoins that showed strength when Bitcoin was pulling back as much as it has, right? Even now, you can see Monad is holding up very strong, even with this pullback that we're seeing in Bitcoin here, right? It's holding up very strong. So again, I think this is a great altcoin pick if you don't want to be a gambler in the Solana trenches, right? You don't have a ton of time to, go into all these Dex Screener, Axiom, all these different tools, all these on-chain stuff. All you know is Coinbase, right? If all you know about is Coinbase and maybe a phantom wallet with Solana, right? I think personally Monad is a great pick for you as an altcoin gem, in my personal opinion. So Monad, in my opinion, in a great spot. Even Aromat here thinking Monad could potentially break to the upside, but we'll see. There's no guarantees, right? Because again, with Bitcoin being so weak, right, it's gonna be tough for Monad to be bullish with Bitcoin being so weak, right? But you never know. Maybe altcoins surprise us. Maybe altcoins finally start to outperform Bitcoin. Maybe that's the white swan event that we're looking for. So we just have to play it by ear. Again, dollar cost average, guys. Get to a bag that you're happy with. And if the prices do drop further and you think to yourself, okay, maybe I could add some more, that's all up to you, right? We're all adults here. So as always, none of this is financial advice. Thank you so much for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Thank y'all so much once again, man. Truly appreciate the support. And I'll catch you in the next one.